When building a home gym, bumper plates are typically the way to go since they offer more versatility than your standard metal plate. And guess what? I've got some brand new ones from Living.Fit I'm gonna be breaking down for y'all today, so let's get right to it. What's up, my people? It's Jake, back in the BarBend garage gym with another review, locked and loaded, ready to go for y'all. This time around, I'm gonna be breaking down Living.Fit's bumper plates. Now, if you don't know how this works, in this video today, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know about these bumper plates, from the price and the features, some pros and cons, and of course, who should or maybe should not add these to their home gym. But let's pump the brakes before I start doing all of that. I gotta let you know, I really have no choice. We've reviewed a ton of bumper plates on barbend.com. So if you wanna browse our best list, just go ahead and search BarBend best bumper plates. That article is gonna pull right up for you. And who knows, you might be surprised who cracks that #1 spot. Okay, so let's talk about what I like about these bumper plates. And I think we gotta kick this off with all the different buying options that are available. Now, it's worth mentioning I don't have the 10-pound pair or the 55-pound pair with me right this second, but you can purchase 5 pounds up to 55 pounds, which is really cool. There's also full sets ranging from 160 to 370 pounds. So with all that variety, there's a really solid chance you're gonna find some that are gonna meet your requirements in your home gym. I also really like the pairing of the low bounce rubber with the alloy steel inserts. So the low bounce rubber, obviously very nice for any Olympic or CrossFit style lift where you're repeatedly dropping that barbell. You definitely don't want it just bouncing up and hitting your shin or whatever the case is. It's gonna be really nice. It's also gonna protect the barbell with that rubber. And then also, Living.Fit claims that these can withstand up to 15,000 drops. So it's really nice. They're gonna last you a long time. They also don't stink. And I know that might sound a little bit weird for me to say, but if you don't already know, bumper plates tend to be pretty stinky whenever you take them out of a box. So it was a pleasant surprise that these just were ready to go as soon as I unboxed them. And then lastly, it's just the aesthetics. I really like the font they used, and then also just like the color coordination. That way, in the beginning, some people might not know what each color represents, but over time, you'll see the green, you'll know it's 25. You don't have to think twice about it. Just grab and go, get straight to your workout. Now, there are a few things that I want to talk about that might be viewed as some cons for some of y'all, and we got to talk about money first. Surprisingly, compared to the rest of the market, these are pretty pricey, and at the end of the day, I think they're going to be worth it, and they seem to be really high quality, but at the same time, like I said, it's a little bit surprising how expensive these are. Now, I also want to talk about the thickness. So really with the 45s and probably even these 35s a little bit too, they're a little bit thicker than a lot of other bumper plates that I've reviewed. And that's gonna be nice for, let's say a beginner, you're learning to power clean, you only have a 45-pound bumper plate on there. It's gonna be nice because, the force from it being dropped is gonna be, dispersed throughout here, and it's thicker. It's gonna prevent, tacoing, bending, whatever you wanna call it, of the plate. However, the thicker the plates are, it's gonna mess with the whip of your barbell, which, it's important when doing Olympic lifts or anything like that. So it might just mess with you a little bit until you get used to it. And then lastly, I want to talk about the materials. While I don't necessarily think these are made from recycled rubber, they don't feel like it, haven't experienced that when I'm working out with them, but it would be nice for that to be listed on the website, and it's just not right now. And then also, I'd like to know the durometer rating. I mean, I can compare and contrast with other bumper plates that I have in here and maybe be able to figure out a ballpark range of what that number is. But it's also not listed on the website, and I just think that'd be kind of cool. And if you don't know what a durometer rating is, I should probably mention that. It's essentially how hard an object is and how much bounce you can expect to see out of it. So just those two things right there, in my opinion, would be nice and kind of give everybody a little bit more closure, I guess you could say. Okay, so let's talk about some money now with the Living.Fit bumper plates, and I gotta highlight the individual pairs first. So a 5-pound pair is gonna run you around 50 bucks. A 10-pound pair is about $70. The 15s are around 80 bucks or so. 25s are roughly 130. 35s are around 190. 45s are about 230 bucks, and the 55s actually aren't on the website right now, but whenever those are put on there, those are gonna be around $270. So the lightest set is 160 pounds. That's gonna run you around 400 bucks. The 260 pound set, that's about 660. And the 370 pound set, that's gonna be roughly $940. Now, no matter what you decide to purchase, these are not the cheapest bumper plates on the market by any means necessary. So, if you wanna find some cheaper ones, you definitely can, but honestly, y'all, these are pretty sweet. And the quality, just the way they feel in my hands, kind of what I have experienced by working out with them, I think they're worth that price tag. All right, and since we just got done talking about pricing for those full sets, let's talk about what each full set entails, all right? So the 160 pound set's gonna have one pair of 45, 25, and 10 pound plates. 260 pound set's gonna have one pair of the 45, 35, 25, 15, and 10. The 300 pound pair is, one pair of the 55, 45, 25, 15, and 10. And guys, honestly, there's so many other options right there. I'm not gonna bore you by reading all of those. As you can see, it's all laid out right there in front of you. So definitely check that out. It's really nice, in my opinion, how there's so many different buying options. It's just gonna allow that many more people to find a set to add to their home gym. Okay, so let's talk about the build now of these bumper plates and some of the features. Bumper plates don't have a whole lot of features, but let's talk about them anyways. So once again, you do have alloy steel inserts, and they're wrapped in a low bounce rubber coating right here. It's gonna be really nice. There's not a whole lot of bounce, which is gonna be a good thing. And these could easily last you, 10 years if you take care of them the right way. Now, aside from this 5 pound plate right here, which is technically just a simple change plate, you just add 5 pounds on. These all have the same diameter. It's IWF standard diameter of 17.7 inches, but as you may assume, it's never safe to assume anything, but the thickness is going to depend on the actual weight of the plate. So 5 pound pair right here is pretty close to the 10 pound, which is gonna be right around 0.8 of an inch thick. The 15s are gonna be 1.1 inches thick. The 25s are about 1.69, 1.7 inches thick. The 35s around 2.3 inches thick. The 45s are about 2.9 inches thick. And those 55 pound plates are gonna be right around 3.4 inches thick. So once again, these are all color coordinated, based on the weight, which is really nice in my opinion. It adds to the aesthetic. I also really like the lettering right here, just kind of looks pretty sweet, and it's kind of raised up a little bit too, almost like a 3D effect on it. Now, I also really like the collars right here. It's basically co-molded, basically one solid piece right here with the actual, face of the bumper plate and the collar, and that's really nice. It's gonna add to that durability. And also the seams right here, they're there. They're evident if you get up close and look at them, which I'll show you in just a second, but it's not that bad. It's better than having, a seam right down the middle of them, and they're just almost non-existent, which is also a really nice thing. It's gonna add to that overall durability. All right, so I just want to show you guys, everything up close with these bumper plates, and I gotta kick this off with the aesthetics. Honestly, just that contrast with the white lettering on the colored, it just looks great. Honestly, I like this font they use too, and it sticks up, so it's kind of like a 3D aspect, which is really cool. And then obviously, you have your labeling right here, 35, 25 pounds. That's nice for obvious reasons. You want to know which weight plate you're going to grab. And also you got the color coordination right here all across the board, which is nice. Obviously it doesn't change anything about the bumper plates, but if you're looking for aesthetics, that's a nice touch right there. I want to talk about the collars right here too. It's basically a co-molded collar, which means it's one piece. You can try, but you really can't even get your fingernail up underneath there. That's really good for durability reasons, and I don't think you're gonna have to worry about that at all. Let's talk about the seams really quick. And I was talking about earlier how it's a good thing how these bigger plates don't have a seam that runs down the middle. This is what I'm talking about right here, right? So this plate is designed like this because it's 5 pound change plate, it's smaller, it doesn't need to hit the ground in general. That's why the diameter is not the same. And that's why they just, made this seam the way it is right now, because like I said, it doesn't need that extra durability. Now, with these, the seams are right here essentially, And what they've done is they almost like sanded it down, I guess you could say. It's really smooth, there's really, not a lot going on right there. It just kind of seems like an edge, and that's really nice. If you had, a seam like this middle one right here, that's when you would run into some durability concerns, because you would have to worry about that seam kind of breaking apart over time. So honestly, y'all, these are really nice. Like I said earlier, I would like to know, just to have it officially stamped, whether or not these were virgin rubber or recycled rubber, and then the durometer rating would be nice to know as well. But honestly, these are top tier in my opinion. All right, so just to show for you guys, how much bounce you can expect to see out of these plates, went ahead and threw some on 2 barbells right here. I've got some from Rogue that I'm gonna compare to, since these are disclosed with that durometer rating. It's right around 88. So just go ahead and see what we're working with here. I'm gonna pull these up. As you can see, there's hardly any bounce with those plates whatsoever. Let's see how these from Living.Fit hold up right here. There's a little bit more of a bounce right there, but honestly, it's not too far off in my opinion. So, I'm not really an expert on durometer ratings or anything like that. But once again, these from Rogue are 88. So I think these from Living.Fit are, right around that ballpark range, which is really nice. Okay, so who should purchase the Living.Fit bumper plates? And guys, if you're looking for a pair of long-lasting, highly durable bumper plates to add to your home gym, I think this is a really good option. It definitely should be in the running. That's because of the alloy steel inserts and obviously, the low bounce rubber coating. It's gonna protect the plate, it's gonna protect your barbell, it's gonna protect surrounding equipment and the floors. It's a really nice touch. Plus, Living.Fit claims that these can withstand up to 15,000 drops. So I think it's pretty safe to say these are gonna last you around 10 years or so at least. I also think the overall thickness is gonna be really good for beginners, specifically these 45s. As you're learning proper technique with power cleans and hang cleans and stuff, you're dropping that barbell, that extra thickness is gonna prevent those plates from bending on you over time, which is obviously a really good thing. And then also, there's a ton of buying options. So honestly, I think there is a weight range out there, whether you want that full set or maybe just get a bunch of individual pairs, there's an option out there for everybody. All right, now what about those people who might not want to purchase these bumper plates? And we got to talk about the thickness first, which is essentially a 2-for-1 thing right here. So I just mentioned how that extra thickness is going to be nice for beginners. It's still true. It's going to prevent the plates from bending, over time as they're repeatedly dropped. But if you're somebody who's a dedicated Olympic lifter or CrossFitter, you might not like how it feels when you're lifting with these, because that extra thickness could affect the whip of the bar, which is essentially the amount of bounce that occurs, during the middle of your power clean or, any other lift that's like that. So definitely keep that in mind. And also, this extra thickness, specifically with these 45s is really what I'm kind of referring to here. You're not gonna be able to have as much space to load as much weight as you possibly could compared to some other, thinner 45-pound bumper plates. So you definitely want to keep that in mind as well, especially if you're lifting some eye-popping weight. Just remember that. And then lastly, these are kind of expensive. Not the most expensive bumper plates on the market, but certainly not the cheapest. They're pretty up there. So if you're on a tight budget, you might want to consider some other options. Well, friends, that's all I got for you today on the Living.Fit bumper plates. I personally really enjoy these. They look great, they feel great. There's a ton of buying options. I mean, there's just a lot going on here with these bumper plates. Just remember, they're a little bit pricey compared to the rest of their competition. And the thickness, might mess with certain people with how their lifts feel, and then, how much weight you can load onto your barbell. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful and that I was able to break down every single thing you need to know about these bumper plates. As always, keep your eyes peeled for my next video. But I want you to do one quick thing for me in the meantime. And I want you to head over to BarBend.com, because we have a full written review ready to go for y'all. All you gotta do is search BarBend Living.Fit bumper plates review. It's gonna pull right up for you, and you can read everything that I talked about here today. I'll catch y'all next time.